Hey there guys, Tristan here, CEO and founder of Practice Acceleration. Welcome to today's show. I've got an excellent episode coming up. Today I am interviewing a fabulous member of the Practice Accelerator program. In fact, she's a boardroom member, which is our level reserved for people that are gunning for $1 million and multi-million dollars per annum, playing at the highest possible level. So today we're going to be going deep and we're going to be talking to a fantastic chiropractic business owner inside my program. Her name is Paula Basilio and she is an absolute rock star. So let's dive into the show. Paula, welcome to today's podcast show. I'm extremely excited to have this opportunity to chat with you. What's going on?
Thanks, Tristan. Super excited. Nothing's going on. This is my non-clinical day.
Oh, nice.
So the kids are down the coast, so I have freedom of a lot of things this week.
Wow.
And time for myself, which is amazing.
That is so cool. So what is something fun you're going to do for yourself today? So the kids are up the coast, everything's flowing without you, it's holiday time. What are you going to do for yourself?
I think after team training today, I figured I wanted to go to a sauna.
Oh, nice. I love that. So you get team training and a sauna. All right, cool. So let's dive into the show. So tell everyone, who are you? Where are you from? What's the name of your practice? What do you do? Give us a laydown.
Paula Basilio. I'm originally a chiropractor and founder CEO of My Back Relief Clinic here in Sydney. We've been operating this will be 8 years this month. So it's our birthday this month. We're going to be celebrating.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And I think that's it about me.
There's a lot more to you than that, and the listeners are about to find out. So let's dive in. So how long have you and I been working together for now?
Say just over a year.
Just over a year? That's gone really fast, hasn't it? Well, let's go back in time. So it's been just over a year. What was the biggest challenge you faced when we first met? What was going on for you?
Oh my God, so many challenges. So my daughter, she's 3 years old right now. I came off maternity leave quite early because the clinic was running and I thought I prepped the clinic really well for my exit during maternity leave, trained the staff, and then I just noticed that without leadership, the clinic was slowly starting to decline. So I stepped in quite early. And then it was like a different lay of the land. We weren't getting new patients like we used to. We had a good team at the time that was still struggling to convert. So it was just a massive grind going into it. And I think that January was the least profitable transition that we ever had. And I just didn't know what to do.
Overwhelmed. So like how quick, so you were on mat leave, then you came back early, is that right?
Yeah, so I think
how far into mat leave were you when you came back? Like what was the plan and what ended up actually happening? Like
say the plan was go for like 10 months to 12 months without touching a patient. I think I started going on the tools by that 4th, 5th month.
Yeah, you were back into it real fast, right? Yeah, I remember there was a lot going on for you. That sounds very, very, very stressful. So if we can just think about like in terms of like your journey, where you're at then versus now, just in terms of some metrics so everyone can understand, because you've gone through such a tremendous period of growth and it's been amazing to watch, not just on a professional level, but also like a personal level. What sort of level was the business at in revenues back then versus now? What does that journey look like? What does that shift look like?
If we're looking at like even just my profit, it was like nothing, wasn't taking home anything by that period when we started reaching out. We went away for a boardroom in Bali, and I think I had 36% profit of in the clinic then. So it was nice knowing that I could leave the clinic, trust the team, have systems in place, and still work on the clinic and have fun all at the same time, and still be profitable and still on the journey of still increasing that.
How cool is that? So like, I'm just going to recap that because if you're listening, like Paula's been very casual about how she said that and doesn't big herself up a lot, but I'm going to brag you up, Paula. So you got from zero profit to 36% profit. And in terms of revenue, what was the revenue per month before versus now? Just to get everyone listening.
I think we were hitting around 40, 40 to, we were at a low, so 40.
40K per month, and now I've got here 64,900 per month.
Yeah.
It's a pretty significant shift. So an extra 25K per month, an extra $300,000 per annum. Isn't that wild?
It's crazy, isn't it?
And you've been getting your life back. So I'm just super proud of you. And like you said, we're hanging out recently in Bali. There was a boardroom getaway where we get away with our top performers and we work on business, and we also have a lot of fun. And the business was flowing without you having to be there. All right. So what I'm interested to know, I want to hear about your perspective on this. So when you think about other chiropractors, other practice owners, that could be in dental, it could be in physio, it could be in chiro, it could be in anything really. It's a practice owner. What is it that most practice owners get wrong in their businesses? What is it they're doing in their business and they're getting it wrong?
I think looking at my journey, we were all trained to be clinicians. We weren't necessarily trained to be business owners, right? So it's definitely a learning curve. But the one thing that I've taken away the most out of being in practice acceleration is just the speed of implementation.
Speed. Success loves speed.
And just I thought I was implementing at a certain level, or I thought I was implementing, and I just didn't realize there was just so many levels to it. And just hanging around the community, being in contact with a lot of really high quality business owners, and just seeing the level that they're playing at just automatically made me try to step up as much as possible.
It's like getting drawn into that slipstream. Like, do you watch Formula One?
And not at all.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. My analogy is going to be gone, but yeah, you kind of get put. Yeah, you get pulled into this slipstream, right? So it sounds like you're saying that most people in business, you said they're trained as clinicians, they're not trained in business. So what is it they get wrong, and what should they do instead?
I think the one thing that I personally see people get wrong is that they're not willing to take the action. There's a lot of fear in terms of even reaching out to your previous patient base, because that's the reactivation campaigns are amazing, and that's what we started.
How good are they? They're wild.
And even from an attraction point of view, committing to your brand and not trying to hide behind all these agencies' brands and putting yourself out there. I feel like that's holding people back, but also just a commitment. I think a lot of people have aspirations and they're like, I'll do it, but they just didn't take action in terms of like investing time into their team, investing time into their business, and just doing the work behind it. So,
and it is an investment. That's a good choice of words, because today you're going to hang out with your team today, do some training, then you're off to the spa, the kids are up the coast. Like, this is the payoff of that investment that you've made. So you talked about reactivation campaigns, you talked about attraction and so on. I want to know, how have you found it? Like, in terms of like, previously you weren't running any of these campaigns, and a lot of people come to us and they're saying, oh, Facebook doesn't work or Instagram doesn't work and whatnot. But the reality is, that's like saying back in the day, newspaper advertising doesn't work. Well, of course it does. It's just like what you're putting in there. People tend to blame the medium rather than looking at the strategy. You've been tremendously successful doing social media ads using our processes. Can you share a bit of an insight into how that's been going for you now versus what it was beforehand?
I think beforehand we were spending so much money on agencies and Facebook in particular. I was always someone that was willing to try something.
Yeah, you're an absolute go-getter, and I love that about you.
And we've been implementing Facebook ads for probably 4 years, even before Practice Acceleration, paying an agency. And the frustration that I had with that was that we would pay them, and then it might go well for 2 weeks, and then it'll drop off, and we have nothing. I think when we first signed up to Practice Acceleration, I looked at our stats, and we had maybe 2 Facebook patients in a whole month. And now we have around 30 new patients from Facebook alone.
So 30 new patients per month from Facebook. Yeah, that's how does that feel? Just knowing that like you can run a campaign like that and you're going to get that level of consistency.
I think the security comes to mind. I think it's one of those situations where uh, I don't think I'm a control freak, but we all are. But I also like to know that I can pull levers and I have influence over my own business. So I want to know that, hey, if something's not working, we can implement and I can leverage my team and we can think of ways to improve even our Facebook ad campaigns. And the more that we delve into it, the more that we learn. And from practice acceleration, it's a plug and play, but it's still one of those things that the more time that we put in, the more it optimizes over time.
Yes, that's right. It gets better and better.
Yeah, and my team gets more excited about it. They get more confident about it, and you just see everyone a lot happier when it comes to the new patient systems, I guess.
How cool is that? So from 2 new patients a month up to 30 new patients per month, and your team are excited about it, and you guys are getting better and better and better at it, and you're following a process. That's just awesome. That is just awesome. Talk to me about the reactivations. Like, how have you found those? How have your reactivation campaigns worked for you, and how did you find them in terms of implementation? Can you speak to that point for a little bit?
I think I looked at the stats from before practice acceleration too. We had maybe one or two reactivations every single month. Our most successful campaign is Mother's Day. And we noticed that over the last 2 years. I feel like I think I saw that we had maybe 14, 15 reactivations from that alone, uh, which if you're spending what $60 on a text message and to get it's almost like a new patient, it's so much cheaper even than Facebook.
Oh yeah, $60 to get 14 to 15 appointments that want to book in and then you convert. Like, if you think about that, like, let's just play with some numbers for a moment because everyone's a little bit different. And I, as you know, inside, my approach to business is measure pipeline value. Like, leads is about we're buying leads basically. We're buying leads with either our time investment or our financial investment or a little bit of both. So essentially we're buying a lead. When someone comes in and they follow your advice and they engage with you in treatment and so on and they stick with you, what do you earn in the pipeline per patient approximately?
Say the way that I look at it is that uh, we sell 24 treatments, but I want to see what they would bring in at least in the first month. So that'd be $900
$900 in the first month or 20 or over 24?
over 12 visits.
Yeah, that's in the first month. Nice. So we are $900 in the black in month number one from getting one lead. Isn't that wild? Whew. Am I hearing that correct? Or is that 12 visits over a longer period? So I just want to make sure I'm getting all these stats correct.
So that's 12 visits over 1 month.
Wow. Okay. So let's say we get 30 new appointments. I'm just going to play around with this because I'm looking at this. Well, the numbers are pretty straightforward, actually. My year two maths teacher, Mr. Hegarty, would be so proud. So an extra $27,000 in cash collected per month from Facebook ads alone. Okay, that's 27K on the front end. And what are you investing like per month on Facebook ads to make that extra 27K? And there's more in the pipeline as well.
Facebook, we're investing around $4,000.
4K to make 27K, far out. Like, I'm taking those numbers every damn day of the week. You're actually doing better on Facebook than I am, so I need to learn a couple of tricks from you. This is awesome. Wow, that must be so empowering. Like you said, hey, I'm a bit of a control freak. Here's the reality. Business is about actually gaining control. It's about gaining predictability. It's like, how can we do something that we know within a degree is going to work very well that we can hedge our bets on to grow our team? Because if we want to hire someone, we know how many people do they need per week based on a certain retention rate to actually fill their books, right? So I want to talk to you momentarily about hiring, because growing your team has been something of like a really big focus. How have you gone about hiring? How are you hiring differently now? And how is that working for you compared to the way it was in the past?
Oh my God, so different. Say my first associate that I ever hired, it was, do you have a pulse and do you have a degree? Yeah. So I was just looking around, anyone that might like me. So that was
It sounds like me at university trying to get a date. I'm like, do you like me? Are you alive? Let's do this. Let's go on a date.
please work and kind of lure them into my clinic. And then says the issue that I ran into is, say, when my first associate left, I was devastated and I didn't even hire someone for 8 months. It was so slow. And that was lost time, lost effort, and it was just taxing. And then the second time I lost an associate, it still took me a good 5 months. And then our last hire, which you would have known about, is that we hired someone within a week and a half.
Yeah. So that was
So
using our processes.
yes, exactly. Using our scripts, using our processes, using our strategies on how to hire, and it was way more empowering. And we had so much more interest. So previously, we might have maybe two chiropractors, and I'm like, great, which one out of the two? The first time we ever used your process, we had like 22 applicants
Wow.
compared to previously. And then the second time we went through your process, we had bench warmers already. So it was a fast process and we didn't lose income. We didn't necessarily lose profits either. We didn't lose speed or momentum with that process. And I just didn't realize how much it was costing me having inaction when it came to hiring.
The cost of inaction is high, you know. Um, I'm interested to know, I'm just going to take this conversation on a different tangent. How do you view yourself differently in your role now? Like now you've been working with me for a while. How do you view yourself differently? Like originally you were like, I'm a chiropractor. How do you view yourself now? And like, how does your week look differently? Like what sort of work are you doing that's different compared to the way it was in order to grow your business?
So one, I think just for myself, I'm just way happier. Like I've never had so much. I was reflecting on this before going on this call. This is the funnest that I've ever had in business, I think.
How good is that?
I didn't realize until I kind of reflected over the last quarter and doing my offsite and just thinking about, um, was it really just the income that I was worried about? But I'm like, no, I actually wanted to have fun. And from what I viewed myself when I first graduated and when I first started the clinic, definitely it was just chiropractor mode, chiropractor mode. And these days, I see myself more as a leader to my team, the actual owner, and I can see that this business can scale. So it's it's so much more inspiring um, coming to work and working on all of that, and something that I'm actually enjoying. It's not without its stresses, but I think it's just funner to do it this way. I
How
think.
good is that? More profit, more control, and it's a lot more fun, and you see yourself more as a leader. Talk to me about your leadership skills now, like compared to it in the past. Like, how is that different, do you feel?
I'm a crazy people pleaser. So,
Are you still, or you used to be? Are you recovering?
no, no, previously, and then I would, I would make my day based on everyone else.
Oh, okay, yes. It's not uncommon. I see that a lot, but it's not helpful.
Yeah, and one of the major issues I had was even my schedule was based on the needs of everyone else, and it was on the needs of my associates, and it was on the needs of the team. And then what I realized is that I'm a better leader to my team, even to my family, if I learn how to manage my schedule properly and prioritize the things that I need before everyone else. Then I can help everyone else. And I've just realized that I thought that doing my schedule based on someone else was helping them, but it's way more effective that I'm like, I'm a great state, I'm happier, I can help them, I'm way more focused. um, I can give my kids the time that they need, and I can give my team the time they need. And I realized that I didn't necessarily have to have that guilt. of spending time either way. I was seesawing back and forth quite a lot over the last couple of years before practice acceleration.
Yeah, it was very. Yeah, I remember it was very emotional for you. You know, and now things are very different. I've just out of interest, like how long was it going on for like that? Like how long were you in this state of people pleasing, and how long was that happening for?
Like my whole life beforehand. But like as a chiropractor, I feel like since most health practitioners, we come into this wanting to please people. We don't go into health because we want to take it. We just want to help people. And I feel like that's where there might be a common thread amongst a lot of health practitioners is that we tend to people please, and that might come off in our recommendations sometimes.
Yeah, very often.
Yeah, and I see this with not even business owners, but like the chiropractors and the associates themselves, where they might under recommend just because they're like, oh, I don't think the person can commit or they can't pay for it. We just don't know. We're just better off giving our gold standard and giving our best, and then seeing if someone will accept us for that.
Yeah, it's about recommending what is clinically and ethically best, and then presenting that in a way where the patient understands, and they're more likely to say yes. So you said like so when you were back in this people pleasing stage as a business owner, how is that actually impacting your life? Because you said that now you're having more fun and you're happier than ever. Like, how is that impacting you in that people pleasing state, which is very common? And I bet a lot of people listening right now will be like, yeah, I get that. Like, staff want to take a holiday, they get to choose holiday first, or staff are saying, I'm not going to start till this time, or they're letting you know at the last minute, I'm taking a day off, or no, I won't take this sort of patient. And you pick up the pieces. So I'm betting a lot of people listening and watching will understand and relate. How is that playing out for you?
I think on so many levels, including even not taking profits from my own clinic, and like I said, we were taking in nothing at the time that we were starting with practice acceleration. And that was one of those big eye-opening moments that I think I'm like, I think I'm prioritizing everyone else except for the growth of this clinic and myself and my family and the things that mean the most to me. So it came out in the contracts, it comes out in how we distribute money, it came out with how we were spending money. And it's just a stressful way to live. And then these days, I look at my whole calendar for at least the 3 months and I book in date night. I book in time with my kids. I book in the time that I need for my business. I book in my sprints, which are my 1 hour sprints on what I use to grow the business. And I find that because my diary is my boss now, and I set the intention every single week and every single day, that just the days run smoother. And I guess that's where that happiness comes from, is that uh, I'm dictating my day.
And has your husband noticed a shift in you?
Yeah, no, like our relationship is much stronger now, that we factor in time for ourselves, and that he sees me a lot happier that I'm working on this business. And I think he mentioned it the other week. He's like, I think this group has been the right move for us.
Yeah. So what I say to people is like people come to me to solve business problems, but I'm like, we're really here about creating more joy and fulfillment in your life. So what's really surprised you the most about working with us? Like, what is something that you've really enjoyed that you didn't expect? Like, what's really surprised you?
I think a lot of things. When I first joined Practice Acceleration, I genuinely thought you were another marketing agency. I had no idea what I was coming into. And I heard through the grapevine that they're like, oh no, but they also do leadership stuff. Um and I think it's so much more different than what I originally thought. So I didn't realize that I was getting into making sure that the attraction was great in my team, of our clinic, that the team would work better together, that we would get our own personal lives in order, that we'd be able to save up, we can start investing. Like there's so many things that have changed since we started. So
Well, I'm really I'm really glad that I'm really glad you found us. Who is another member inside our program that you look up to? And you're like, I'm really inspired by that person.
Oh my God. So I think everyone's inspired by Nisha.
She's a rock star. Yeah. So what is it you find so inspiring about Nisha?
Oh, she has such a big heart. I think she has an amazing heart, and she wants to take on the world, and she implements like crazy, but she is a boss lady. So very inspired by a lot of the board members as well. I'm inspired by Deb.
She's a legend. Oh my goodness. I love all of our members.
Yeah, amazing. But even like pretty much majority of the members are so supportive. Um, I don't think I've ever been part of a group where we're so honest with each other because we want the best for each other. And I think it all starts with just being honest with what situation you're in. And I've been part of groups before and never been able to be as vulnerable as I am with the group that we're in right now.
It's a very safe container.
So cheerlead and give advice and give helpful input into what the next steps are.
I love that. And that's what I'm proud of too, is people develop friendships for life. And it's like it's real. And that's what we're so careful about who we bring into this environment, because we've got wonderful people like yourself to protect by bringing in the right people to make sure that we're all growing. And I say it's about big results, but there's certainly no big egos. And they're both two very inspiring ladies. Deb Cobley and Nisha Gann, very inspiring people, but so is everyone in the boardroom group. And everyone's got their own thing that they're incredible at, that they're world class at, that they can share with someone else. And I agree with you. I love that we've got this culture of everyone cheering each other on and supporting one another. Like it's how do we do this as a team sport? So, question for you, when you chose us, what was it that made you choose us over someone else? And well, let me reframe that. What should people look for when people are looking for someone to get business advice from, or they're looking for a coach? What should they look for?
I think they should look for a coach that definitely has a good track record. And before I joined Practice Acceleration, I did actually reach out to other chiropractors I knew through a grapevine that were with you, and they said amazing things about Practice Acceleration. But also, I think when you're choosing a coach, it's someone that would align with your values,
Yeah, values alignment is so important.
and that's with, I guess, anyone that you let into your life. That it's really important that the values are there, and that you can work with um, the coach, and that you all have that same trajectory that you want to go into, so that they're supportive, but they actually tell you the truth. And when you need the kick up the bum, you'll get the kick up the bum, and when you need that love and care, you'll get that love and care. I think that's a hard balance to find with a lot of coaching groups.
Yeah, it is. That's right. And like we're obsessed. We're obsessed with upskilling our entire team to make sure we get that right balance to support you. So there we go for our listeners. Track record and making sure there's a values alignment when you're considering working with someone. What do you get to do now in your life that you freed up this extra time and you got this newfound sense of confidence? You've got leads on a predictable system now. Like, what is it you can now do in your life that you couldn't do before?
Just even pick up my kids from school was one thing. Go to a sauna after a team training, which is amazing. But one of the main goals I had for this year was to, I love my business and I love being in business, and I wanted to integrate that with the love that I have for my family.
Love that. Integrate.
Integrate. And that was when I was reflecting on what I really wanted this year, was to have that true integration with the fun that I have with business, and to let my family enjoy that fun as well. And bringing my sister to Bali was amazing, and Noosa, I'm going to bring my kids and my husband there, and just doing things that it's just fun, and that it is business related, but it's also family, and having that proper integration in my life.
Yeah, I love that too. And so Noosa's coming up. It's just next month. We're going to be hanging out up there together. It's going to be an absolute blast.
Yeah.
three days of business and also leisure together, and it's going to that next level. I'm incredibly excited. One final question for you. What is something that people don't know about you that you'd like them to know about you?
Oh no. That I want them to know about me?
Yeah.
There's not many things I want them to know about me.
What is something that most people don't know about you that's a bit unique?
Oh, unique. I can't whistle.
Neither can I.
I can't
We'll have to
whistle.
get,
I tried my whole life, and then my husband's like, just stop.
just don't do it. I'll buy you one and I'll give it to you in Noosa. How's that? That way you can be like the referee of the family and like just blow it, and like you're calling all the shots, sending off like yellow cards off to the sin bin, giving away free kicks.
Exactly.
I like that. What is something your team, how would your team describe you?
Oh, I'll have to ask them today. They get quite scared whenever I ask them, but I think I'm an approachable person. I'm friendly. I'm very encouraging. I always
Approachable, encouraging. Yeah. What else?
um, always want the best for the team. So as much as I want the business goals to be hit, I want my personal goals, but I think there's situations where we can create win-win success for everyone.
Oh yeah. That's what a win is. It's when you win together.
Yeah, and every month and every quarter and every year, I look at what their personal goals are and how I can keep them accountable for their own personal goals because I genuinely just care about them. So I think that's that's one thing that the team would tell you that I do often.
Well, that's a beautiful thing to hear, and that's a great way for us to finish today's show as well. So I'm super excited to see where you're headed next in your business. Like you've come so far, and you're just moving at such a great pace in all different ways. Like your business is growing, you're growing in your personal development, your relationship with your family is improving, you're having more fun. It's a beautiful part. It's a beautiful thing to be part of. So thank you for the privilege of allowing me to be involved in that journey, because this is what we're passionate about, and I take it very seriously, and I'm very grateful. So enormous thank you to you for allowing me to be part of your journey.
And I also want to thank you for having me here and giving me space to share my story as well, but also for the company that you've built that has definitely
You're
had this
welcome.
massive impact on my life and my family's life, and I can't be more grateful for that. So thanks,
Oh,
Tristan.
you're absolutely welcome. You know, you're welcome 1,000 times over. So, guys, I think we'll all agree that Paula is an absolute rock star. She's a wonderful person. She's an incredible leader, and she's doing amazing things. So, if you guys are interested at all in learning about how we do the things that we do with wonderful people like Paula, just follow me over on Instagram, Tristan Bond Official. Check out some of our content, and I'm really good at replying to DMs. So if you have any questions, I'm super personal. Just send me a DM, and I'll be delighted to get in touch with you and see if we may be able to help you to achieve some of your goals as well. So Paula, thank you so much for joining me. We're going to say bye for now, but I will see you. Our session's coming up. It's Thursday, isn't it? We got a boardroom session this week.
100%. See you then.
All right, legend. I'll see you at the boardroom session. All right, thank you for joining me. Hope you have fun at the sauna.
I will. Thanks.
All right, bye for now. All right, bye.